This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Reset Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Mignell. This is part of my 29 Days of Magic series where I get to interview 29 phenomenal Black women over the course of 29 straight days. Is it crazy? Yes, I know. But I do it every year for the last 6 years. So I love it so much because I get to talk to so many wonderful women. And like today, I'm speaking with the amazing Summer Hill, who's a wonderful business consultant and has an incredible story. So let's dive right in. Hi, Summer.
Hi, how are you, Laura?
Oh, I'm good. Just talking to Black women all day long, every single day for 29 straight days. It's a very quiet thing. So first question is always the same. Answer is always awesome. I'm sure you'll be no different. So Summer, what was your all-time favorite job?
I would say my all-time favorite job, probably State Farm Insurance. I was in my early 20s. I was excited about having that job, making great money for my age, and just the community and support there. So it was really good. I was excited about that, being young and having that job and being able to pay my bills with that job.
You're like, you're like, I am making real paper here. This is awesome.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it was nice.
I love it. All right, so we start with State Farm when you're like, making it rain. Till now, what's that career journey been like?
So since then, I've relocated from New York because that's back when I was in New York in my early 20s. So I've been in insurance, healthcare, and then when I came to South Carolina about 10 years ago, I've been in pharmaceutical. And then since 2023, I've been in the financial field in the health department. So it's like one of the biggest healthcare departments in North Carolina, and I work in the financial department.
Awesome. So along the way, it sounds like you did make a big move. I mean, New York to South Carolina. I don't
Yes.
think you go to bigger, different places. um, what was that sort of moment of reset for you?
So the moment of reset, basically like being here in South Carolina. So the pharmaceutical job, I really worked hard to get, because when I first started, I was contracting. So I really worked hard to get a permanent position. And then after I got the permanent position, I was there 5 years, and then they did a big layoff. So it was it was a little bit into COVID. So that was the reset for me where I felt like, you know what, I need multiple streams of income. And I used to work, I forgot to mention, I used to work 2 jobs. So I said, you know what, I'm going to get into, first I wanted to be a realtor. Then I was going to do Airbnbs. And then when neither one of those happened, I just started to pray, and I prayed for mentorship. And I met my mentor online, and that's how I started my consulting business as a financial consultant, business consultant, and helping people with credit and debt. So that was my reset back in 2024.
So I love how you're talking about two really important things because, especially in this particular moment where a lot of people are losing their jobs and they're trying to figure out, okay, what do I do next? But then also, how do I do a thing on the side that is either easier or it doesn't require all of my time? And so you talked about a couple of the ones that like didn't work out. So I'd love for you to kind of elaborate a little bit more to kind of help people understand that, like, yeah, you're going to find a few that you thought would work more easily, but actually not.
Right. Yes. So as far as the reset and moving forward in that, I would say it also, I forgot to mention, it does play a part that I had credit card debt from being out of work for a couple of months. So I had high credit card debt. And I knew I wanted to still work from home so I could have time with my family because my job was also a state, working from home. And when my mentor told me that I could be able to help myself, be able to cut my debt in half, as well as help others with their credit and debt. I thought it was amazing because where I come from, we didn't grow up learning financial literacy. My parents, they gave me love, go to church, get a good education, go to college. Those were the things that I grew up learning. So I didn't know financial literacy. So I had to learn how to manage my money. And being in this, in this field now, as a business consultant, I'm able to help small business owners not have to close their doors, able to help individuals and families restore their credit, just to have a better life for themselves and their families, also to create a legacy because we also provide ownership. So I absolutely love it.
Awesome. And so when you're talking about small business owners and like one of the biggest challenges you have when you're a small business owner is to like figure out, okay, how do I not burn a gigantic hole through all my savings and actually find some alternative solutions so I'm not spending every single dollar, but I can find some alternatives. So for you all, what is it? What is some of those like kind of do's and don'ts in terms of looking to find the right sort of credit and solutions so you don't make that mistake?
Yes, that's a great question. And I would say, as a business owner, you don't want to mix your personal and business money. And a lot of people, they do that. They'll deplete their savings, trying to use it for their business when all they need to do is structure their business properly, meaning with like a business bank account, email address, phone number, not use their personal address, apply for business credit, funding, loans, so that they can use that money to be able to fund their business because the way our personal credit is measured is different from business credit. So, like with business credit, they can use up if they have a credit card with 20,000, they can use 19,000 and it won't affect their score like a personal credit score does. So it definitely helps so they can keep their savings separate and not have to burn it out. And I also suggest people to definitely put their savings in something like a high yield savings account because their money grows while it's there. But definitely for small business owners, definitely get that business funding instead of using your personal money for your business.
And yeah, I think this is a big thing. Like I once went to a dinner, and I was sitting next to a woman, and we were chit chatting about our respective small businesses, and she was talking about how she didn't want to go and ask her parents for money because she'd been on her own building a business for like 5 years. And she was like, but I can't make payroll next week. And I like already burnt through my savings. And she's like, I do have to like live, so I can't do that. So I said, well, have you ever looked into getting a line of credit? And she's like, what's that? And I was like, what? Like, I was like, you should apply for a line of credit. And she did. And I know that she did because I got a gift box the following week from her because she's like, you saved my business because look, I was able to get a lot of credit, I was able to make payroll, I also was able to kind of get some advice how to optimize how I was doing my spending and like make put some more things on payment plans and again not be so quick to pay every single off so I'm at zero. um and so I think one of the things that like we don't teach people enough of is that like it's not everything has to be a cash business. There's other things that you can do to navigate this crazy world of being an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because I also had a business owner come to me. She already had a business, but she wanted to expand in the business. So, she didn't use her personal credit score with her business name to be able to get it. Because also when people have business credit, they don't have some lines of credit. They don't need to use their personal credit. They can use their EIN number. And most businesses don't know that. But she had a good credit score. So she used her personal credit with her business name to be able to get additional funding. And she actually got approved for more than she even needed. So but you can take what you want, the amount that you want. You don't have to take the entire amount to expand her business. So I think it's great.
And what happens? So when you're in debt, what are some ways that you can effectively, less painfully get out of debt?
Yes, that's a good question. Because some people, especially in the communities that I grew up in, a lot of people will go to bankruptcy. And to avoid that, that's why me and my business partners, we like to let them know there are other options. You don't have to file for bankruptcy. You can consolidate your debt. You can take a loan out. And some people don't want to do that, but you can take a loan to pay it down, or you can do the snowball method and avalanche method. Some people want to pay their credit cards with the lowest amount first, pay that one down, then use the money they were paying with that to pay the next one down. And that's the snowball effect. Or the avalanche effect, where they are paying the credit card with the high interest first, getting that out, and then working on to the next one. Definitely seeing if they can get an extra stream of income to help pay that debt down as well, but not to file for bankruptcy, because there are options out there. We also have that solution as well, because that's the reason I got into the business. I did have high credit card debt, so I was able to get my debt cut in half, so that I didn't have to pay that full amount. And the good thing about it is you can still work on your credit while you're getting your debt down.
So important. So important. Um, so you've been through all of this and, learned a tremendous amount. Looking back on all the awesome things you've been able to do and how people you've been able to help, um, what's some advice you'd give to your 18-year-old self?
My 18-year-old self, I would say take more risks. Back when I was younger, my dad has always been an entrepreneur, and my sister as well. Um, and I just would not take risks as far as being in business. Um, and definitely just learn to manage my finances sooner. But definitely, my biggest thing is definitely take risks and invest more money. When my 18-year-old self, definitely, that's what I would tell myself.
I mean, like when you're 18, I'm surprised you were a risk averse 18-year-old. It's usually the other way around, where it's like, oh, wild and reckless. So you were
Right.
good. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm just gonna stay out of trouble. Got it. That is unusual, I will say.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would say I was goody goody, but I was good because by 18, I was living on my own. I moved out at
wow,
18.
yeah. No, I get it. Look, I get it. I mean, when I think of some of the wildly unsafe things I did when I was
Right,
18, I'll think back at it now. Like, how did I get out of that without getting like injured? Okay,
right.
God loves me. The Lord loves me
Yes, yes.
deeply. Because
I can say the same. The
oh
Lord
boy.
has saved me.
That's sick. And so like one of the things also in terms of like what's sort of like the baseline thing. So like obviously loads of people have lost their jobs. A lot of them are now still being you know shoved into entrepreneurship. Like, what are kind of the first couple of things that they should know? Like, okay, my old job actually called me back to consult for them. How do I even do that? Like, how do I start a company? Like, what are those kind of like top 4 or 5 tips that you guys give in terms of helping people kind of understand like the baseline? This is what you need to be doing.
Mhm. The baseline, I would say, definitely make sure you keep a good credit score. Just as we mentioned before, don't use your personal money. Get a mentor who's in the field that the person is going into business for, like whatever type of business they're going into. I would definitely say get mentorship for that guidance, because if someone was working a 9 to 5 all their life, they just may not know how to jump into entrepreneurship. So definitely mentorship. Also, uh, just set everything up as far as their business, get their business structured properly with the business bank account, business EIN, the phone number, the virtual address if they don't have a physical business address. So those are some things that they definitely want to do, so that they can apply for that business fund and not deplete their savings. So those are the tips I would give them on starting their business.
Nice. I love that. Yeah, because I think a lot of folks, are now becoming, again, entrepreneurs by accident.
Yeah.
And also it's also like, hey, so you don't get paid on the 15th and 30th anymore. So it's a little different
Yeah.
and be mindful of that. So managing your money, managing your credit are going to be things that, matter immensely,
Absolutely.
while you're going through this period. Because again, it doesn't mean you might be an entrepreneur forever. It might be that it's a kind of a,
Right.
in
Yeah.
between at that moment. And so I definitely agree that it takes a little bit of like
Yeah.
get the pieces in order, even though it's like crazy and weird. Not be shy
Yes.
about it. Yeah, I think the mentor thing is so important. When I think about when I first started, if what it would have been like if I had a mentor who had done a little bit of what I had done. Like I had friends who had been entrepreneurs, but they had never done anything like what my done when it was it was an advertising agency, and so a lot of the same, and we were all around the same age, so we were all young and stupid. So like I just like, and I think about like some of the stuff where like or like the stuff we sort of missed kind of went over our heads like oh like I said, we didn't have a line of credit until way later in the business.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
it wasn't until I had a friend who was kind of a mentor about 60 years into the business who started his own business and he told me about getting a line of credit and I was like oh
Yeah.
that would have been nice to know like 6 years ago.
I know,
Great,
right?
all right, checkbox.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
finding
Because I
those
feel like,
people who
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say yeah, because with my dad being in entrepreneurship, but from him back in his days, he still wasn't taught financial literacy. So his was mostly like cash based and reusing the cash over and over. He learned later on in life as well. So it's not like I could really go to him for that advice when it came to structuring the business properly, because it took him some time.
Yeah, so it's like try and find somebody. And I think now more than ever, like even when I first started, which was like 14, 15 years ago, the online tools available where you can find a mentor, you can go listen to a workshop and you don't have to spend a lot of money to do that. You oftentimes get that stuff for free.
Yes.
Um and get a lot of the information that's now freely available. Also, you've got AI. You can
Oh
now
yeah.
like
Yeah. That's what
yeah,
I have to
so
learn, the AI.
yeah, I guess. So like ChatGPT can answer a lot of your questions, or Claude
Yeah.
or Gemini, whatever. Yeah. Um, Thinking about where you are right now, especially in this kind of wild and wacky world we're in, what's one thing you're really grateful for right now?
Um, I would say I'm truly great. There's a few things. So I'm definitely grateful for my family. I am so grateful, as I mentioned, mentorship, and my business partners, because the support is phenomenal. We're a God first movement. So I'm just truly grateful to be part of it, to be able to be in position to leave a legacy for my family. I'm truly grateful.
Oh wow, I love that. Go ahead, Summer. You just like
Yeah.
yes. uh, and my last question for you: do you have a give and or an ask of the audience?
Let's see. I don't. I'm trying to think of an ask. I would
Don't you want
say,
more customers?
right.
Don't you want more
I would,
customers?
yes, I would definitely say, um, I would ask if there's one thing you could change in your business, what would it be? Like, what could help your business grow? If there was one thing that could help your business grow, what would it be?
Cool, awesome. We'll put that out to the audience. And what you'll give. And so it could be a bit of advice, a book, what have you, whatever you want.
So I would say my give is, um, okay, I think I remember. So the book that I read that I thought was phenomenal was Atomic Habits by James Clear. I think that's the author's name. To start certain habits, because those habits you can utilize it in your personal life and in your business life. Because I know some people procrastinate. I know some people have families. People get distracted with the internet. So I thought that book was really good, and it definitely helped me move along in my journey. So that's my giveaway.
Awesome. So tell me about this. What are the habits you're supposed to have according to this book? 'Cause I'm sure I don't have a lot of them because I'm
So
bad.
daily habits. So a few of them are basically, when you're waking up in the morning, make your bed. If people pray, do their prayer, journal, do their journaling, a little bit of time, a little bit a day, even if it's exercising that they need to do a little bit of exercising every day, make it a habit. Writing down your goals and trying to follow them, and just doing that daily, little things to get to where you're trying to go in life. So I think it's really good to start in those habits, and so you won't get distracted. Because if you start small, like again, I can use exercise as an example. Some people, it bothers them to exercise or it's too much. So you start with 10 minutes and then you work your way up to 30 minutes, until it becomes like a habit every day to do something to get that moving in your body. So it's a good book. Yeah. As far as good habits.
Yeah, that's definitely something I need to do because like I kind of have like the swings and slopes. Like sometimes I'm really good at going to the gym every single morning because the gym is in my building. I, so I technically don't have an excuse.
Right.
But yet somehow I have to kind of walk by it to leave the
Right.
building. But
I'll be
yet
back with you. I'll be back.
yeah. I do a lot of like, oh yeah, girl, I got you. I'll get you on the way back, right? And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I got home.
Yes.
And it's like 10 p.m. Like, yep, never mind.
Yes.
But yeah, I think, but there is something to be said about that, like whatever that morning ritual is. Like my family, Caribbean, obviously, so like I've never left my house with my bed not made.
Right. Right. Oh yeah. No way.
I, I could hear my mother screaming from Florida if that was the
Right.
case. like,
It kind of stays
like,
with you even as an adult. I get it. I get it. Yeah.
can't ever get away from that. But I also think it's something, I was doing some cleaning this morning and I will say that like it actually, you're right about it. There is something kind of calming and cathartic about like doing like the thing that isn't TV, internet, work related. It's like just doing things with your hands. So like, well, again, whether it's cleaning, making your bed, washing the dishes, whatever it may be, there is something unique about that. And I think it does sort of like give you that kind of like calm that
Yeah.
we often all need as part of our day to kind of like be ready for the rest of the foolishness
Yeah.
that you're going to have to deal with throughout the
Absolutely.
day.
Yeah.
It really is. Well, Summer, thank you so much for all this great advice. We'll definitely put details in the show notes for folks to connect with you, be potential customers. No, you're absolutely delightful. It's great to finally meet you. And thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Laura. Such a pleasure meeting you and having this discussion. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And that is our show.
Oh, please, not that music. That music gives me nightmares from my childhood.
Could we get something a little bit lighter, some lighter music here?
Are you a fan of true crime TV shows?
And what about Unsolved Mysteries, the show that jump-started all of our love of true crime?
I'm Ellen Marsh.
And I'm Joey Taranto.
And we host I Think Not, a true crime comedy podcast covering some of the wildest stories from your favorite true crime campy TV shows all the way to Unsolved Mysteries.
Baby, you will laugh, you will cry, you'll think about true crime in a whole new way, and you'll also ask yourself, who gave these people mics?
New episodes of I Think Not are released every Wednesday with bonus episodes out every Thursday on Patreon.
And every Monday, you can listen to our True Crime Rundown, where we go over the top true crime headlines of the week.
So come and join us wherever you listen to your podcasts.
From the parents behind Law & Order comes a mystery the whole family can enjoy. Patrick Picklebottom Everyday Mysteries. Step into the whimsical world of Patrick Picklebottom, a precocious 11-year-old with a love for reading and an uncanny ability to solve mysteries. Inspired by the beloved children's book of the same name, this podcast vividly brings Patrick's tales of deduction and everyday adventures to life as he unravels baffling enigmas and solves clever cases. Patrick Picklebottom Everyday Mysteries is perfect for kids and is just as entertaining for grown-ups who love a good mystery. The whole family can listen now wherever you get your podcasts.